Good morning to all parents. I am Miss Choo, the curriculum specialist for Chinese. Today, we will talk about how to help your child excel in primary Chinese. For, for Chinese, there are 3 papers and 4 components. Paper 1 writing is 40 marks. Paper 2 are multiple choice questions and also comprehension are total 90 marks. Paper 3, which are oral and listening, total 70 marks. And the total marks is 200. The total marks of these 3 papers are 200 and the proportion is 100%. So students have 15 minutes to answer paper 1, 1 hour and 40 minutes to answer paper 2. Now we will go through paper 1. For the writing part, there are 2 types of compositions, which are title-based composition and picture composition. Higher primary students need to choose either one. The lower primary students only have to choose picture composition, and the total words must be over 100. For the picture composition, students have to observe the picture and try to understand the relationship between the pictures and the reference words. Students should analyze the pictures into 3 parts, which are time, place, and people. When students create the ending for the last picture, it must be reasonable, and they must mention the lesson they have learned from this composition. Students can use idioms or proverbs to polish their compositions. So these are the examples of P4 composition. We can see that there are 4 pictures for lower primary composition. Sometimes the reference word, sometimes the reference words will just match with the picture, just like the composition 1. But sometimes students will match by themselves, but like composition 2. These are the example of P6 composition. So there are 6 pictures for higher primary composition. As you can see, higher primary students need to match the helping words with the picture by themselves. So student should not start a new story ending. Should not start a new story at the ending. For example, in composition 2, we can see that the boy for picture 6, the boy rushed to the school after he had helped the woman. For example, the boy rushed to the school after he had helped the woman. Students cannot suddenly open a new story and say the boy helped a woman to cross the road because he late for the school, because the old woman is in a new role and she never appears in the 6 pictures. About the title-based composition, students can read twice to understand the main theme of the composition. For example, the title of the composition is An Unfortunate Thing, 一件倒霉的事. Students might write about an unfortunate day, 倒霉的一天, but the key to an unfortunate thing is the number of one thing. But for an unfortunate day, we will go through many things in a day, and students might mix up with many unfortunate accidents or incidents. So the composition is out of the point. Next, students have to make sure the story flows smoothly from start to the end. The logic of the story is very important, and students can follow the tips provided by the paper. There are usually 4 tips or 5 tips. Besides, students need to control the word count of each paragraph. Some students will be too focused on the climax and overlook the word count of the beginning. For example, they write 10 words for the beginning, 50 words for the second paragraph, 40 words for the third paragraph, 10 words for the last paragraph. But sometimes they don't even have enough time to complete the essay during the exam. So 10, 50, 40, 10, the structure of the composition will not be so good. Here is an example of a title-based composition. I nearly lost my friend. 我差点失去了这位好朋友。Students can follow the tips to set up their mind map. Like 这位好朋友是谁 ？Who is this friend? And 你们之间发生了什么事 ？What had happened between you and your friends? And student can follow the tip to set up their mind map using these four tips and make sure they write down the number of the question. So during our lesson, we will provide idioms, proverbs, beginning and endings. We will go through a model essay and brainstorm together. After that, we will start writing for 50 minutes. The writing time is same as the PSLE to let students be familiar with the answer time. Here is an example. The title of this essay is 这件事给了我一件教训. I have learned a lesson from this incident. As you can see, we list out 4 idioms, 2 proverbs, 2 beginnings, and 2 endings for this composition. So these 2 beginnings and 2 endings are multi-purpose for this type of composition. After that, we will go through the model essay. We can learn the structure of it. You can see that the structure is even, and there are many ways to write the time of the composition. The most common ways are dictation, 顺序, and flashback, 倒叙. In the brainstorming part, I would like students to list out the main points to prevent them from getting nervous and forgetting the main point they need to write. And list out the mind map can also help them from preventing to writing out of the point, to write out of the point. So what can parents do to help improve students' writing? Don't memorize composition, but encourage students to learn from it and create their own styles. If everyone memorizes the same composition, the market teacher will mark this as low marks because they cannot. Other than that, parents can let students to contact Chinese from different medias like novels, movies, comics, and also cartoons. They might be interested because entertainment is easier to let them be motivated compared with dictionary or textbook. And parents can encourage students to practice writing every day. Now we will go through paper 2. Paper 2 is mostly MCQ, which is a multiple choice question, but also have comprehensions. So P1 to P6 have different MCQ formats. P1, these are the P1 and to P3 MCQ format. P1 are 选择汉语拼音、变字测验、填写汉字、完成句子、数笔画。Choose the 汉语拼音, choose the correct words, write the words, complete the sentences, calculate the strokes. P2 are 选择汉语拼音、变字测验、填写汉字、词语选择、填写汉语拼音 ，choose the 汉语拼音 ，choose the correct words, write the words. Choose the correct answers. Write the 汉语拼音。P3 汉语拼音编制测验，词语选择，词语搭配，主句成段。Choose the 汉语拼音。Choose the correct word. Choose the correct answer. Match the words. Arrange the sentences. Now it's P4 to P6 MCQ format. So P4, choose the 汉语拼音, choose the correct word, choose the correct answers, match the words. 汉语拼音变字测验，词语选择，词语搭配。P5 and P6 have the same formats because I would let students start to be familiar with PSLE format. P5 and P6 is 汉语拼音变字测验，词语选择，正确意思，连词，完成句子，正确句子。汉语拼音 choose the correct answer, choose the correct word, choose the correct answer, choose the correct meaning, conjunction, complete the sentences, and choose the correct sentences. But by the way, different schools have different formats of multiple choice question but I have chosen the most common MCQ format to let students to learn from it. So MCQ will mostly test students on the vocabulary they have learned from P1 to P6. So in case of that, students need to master a character list provided by MOE. The middle of the table is 识读字, able to read, and the left is able to write 识写字. Parents can find this in textbook, in the back of the textbook. This is a vocabulary example of our worksheet. So the first vocabulary is 课, and the words under 课 are 克制, control, 克扣, deduct, and students need to write twice of 课 in the blank of the box. So the left hand side will be the example of the sentences. So 小明 controls 小明克制自己玩手机的时间。小明 controls himself from playing with his mobile phone. Now it's MCQ format. Usually the question 1 is 爷爷奶奶曾经到很多国家去旅行。Grandpa and grandma have traveled to many countries. So 旅行 the answer of question 1 is number 3, 旅行. So the first read as 旅行, second 旅行, third 旅行, and fourth is 旅行. Usually the question will request students to tell the difference between N or NG, like 勤劳. That question 2 is 勤劳 and 勤劳. The second option reads as 勤劳. The third reads as 勤劳, and the fourth reads as 勤劳. So like N or some other example like N or L, durian is 榴莲. Some students will pronounce that 牛年 is become NIUNIAN, so this is wrong. Or O and E, like 做梦 is MENG, but some students will pronounce that 做梦 or 风很大 the wind is strong. 风很大 is FENG, it's not FONG. B is choose the correct words. These words might have the same pronunciation. All of the option of question 3 are pronounced as 简, the third tone. Like question 4, other example are the option that share the same radicals or have the same side of the words. Question 4 have the same sides of the word is yang. The first reads as yang, read as yang, second yang, third yang, and fourth is yang. So in case of this, student need to learn the stroke tables, 笔画名称表 and radical tables, 常用汉字偏旁部首标。You can see the first one 女字旁，女，她 is she and 奶奶 is grandma, mama is mother. So she, grandma and mother is all woman, so it's 女字旁 are 女 radicals. Actually, we need to master these radical and strokes when they are in kindergarten or they are P1, P2, because this is the basic of the words. Like they can combine them together with radicals. The C is choose the correct answer. So D is choose the correct meaning. E is conjunction. F is complete the sentences. G is choose the correct sentences. The second part is to fill the passage. So students need to choose the most appropriate answer based on the meaning of the passage. The third part is to complete the conversation. Students need to read the whole conversation and they must take note of the replies after the questions because they might be linked or not linked. Try to get the clue in the sentences and find the possible sentences to insert into the conversation. Like 你早上已经喝汽水了，不能再喝了。Since you drank the soft drink in the morning, you can't drink anymore. So maybe replies why I think soft drink is very nice and there are many flavors. So question 26 and question 27 is linked together. So students should get the clue from the previous and the following sentences to get the answer. The third part is comprehension. So students will read passage carefully because students need to find the synonym of the words in each passage. Highlight the key words and find the corresponding sentences in the paragraph. There could be multiple small questions altogether and make sure to answer all of them in full sentences. And take note of the marks for each question. There are 2 comprehensions for lower primary and 3 comprehensions for higher primary. The first comprehension, question 30 to question 2, is to circle the correct answer according to the passage. The second comprehension is to circle the answer plus 1 short writing. The third comprehension is fully writing, like question 34 to 39. So the format of short writing will be, now we will go the short writing part of comprehension. The format of short writing will be a letter, a message, an email, and more. About the short writing, the question usually requires the event of the date of event, the time, the venue, the fee, and the way to sign up, and other details provided by the poster. So students can find the details. Students need to observe the details carefully. Usually there will be 4 marks for this short writing. So students have to make sure to include all the information required by the question. And don't forget to sign off by writing the name and the date. Actually, the short writing, there's some format for email or message or letter or note. So students can memorize some suitable sentences to use for the ending. Right. 希望你能和我一起参加。I hope you can join me. 期待收到你的回复。Looking forward to receiving your reply. 希望你能接受我的邀请。Hope you will accept my invitation. So this is an example of comprehension short writing. The question, as you can see, the question requires Xiaohua to write the reason for inviting Li and the details of the book launch. 就这是写小华邀请李明去这个活动的一个原因，还有就是 发布会的详情。So we will provide 4 comprehensions for P1 to P2, 5 comprehensions for P2 to P4, and 6 comprehensions to P1 to P5 and P6 in a lesson. What can parents do to help improve students' comprehension? Students can read different kinds of materials such as newspaper, books, poster, and more. And parents can encourage students to express their thoughts and their viewpoints in Chinese. And parents can also train students to catch the point and identify the theme of the material in a short time. Now we will go through paper 3. So students will take part in reading aloud and conversation. For reading aloud, students have to read to the exam invigilator, and students need to be patient to read the whole passage. Never be rushed. Some students will just rush in 30 minutes or 30 seconds, right? They read very quick. And they have to read the passage with feelings and also take note the punctuation. Stop slightly when they need a comma, and full stop. Raise up their voice when they need an exclamation mark. And they need to sound confused when they need a question mark. Don't stop reading suddenly, although they don't know how to read. They need to calm down and move on. If students really don't know how to pronounce the words, students can read the sides, like 右边底边眉边读中间. Before students take part in the oral exam, make sure students be familiar with the pronunciation of the characters. The oral paragraph is about 100 words. So here are the example for like 20 words. 好啦，你好吗？我们走吧。我的，你的，好好的读，好是很，走着走着。This is the marking criterion of oral. Of the left of the table, the pronunciation and the articulation of reading is a total of 10 marks. On the right of the table are speech, intonation, and the fluency of reading is a total of 10 marks. So this is the marking criterion for reading aloud, and this is the marking criterion for video. About the video conversation, personal opinion and suggestions are a total of 50 marks. And the ability of expressions and fluency are also 50 marks. So we can see that this is just an example. And there are a total of 5 grades, which are expert. Grade 1 is expert, and then advanced, intermediate, elementary, and beginner. This is an example of 100 words oral paragraph. So, 猫和狗本来是好朋友。有一次，猫对狗说：“你吃的比我多，这怎么行？”狗说：“我的个子比你大，所以吃的比你多。”猫说：“我可以捉老鼠，你可以捉什么？”狗说：“我可以捉坏人，坏人就比老鼠大得多。”猫听了，无话可说了。捉 is pronounced as ZHUO, but some students will pronounce it as 抓 ZHUA. It's actually 捉. Here are a few tips that need to be noticed. So firstly, students need to pay attention to the changing tone of the words in and u. For the changing tone of E, if the word after E is first, second, and third tone, E must change into fourth tone. For example, 一天 is first tone, 一年5天 is second tone, 一统天下 is third tone, 一栋房子 no, it's until 一统天下. If the word after E is fourth tone, you must change into second tone. For example, 一栋房子 is the fourth tone. If E is between two with this word, E must be that tone. So 等等看一看 you need to maintain the original first tone. So the original tone of E is actually the first tone. So if E plays the role as a number, like 11, 11, you need to maintain the first tone. 11 is 11, 11 is the first. Second tip for the changing tone of fu. If the word after fu is first, second, third tone, fu must change into fourth tone. For example, 不听 is first tone, 不能 is second, 不买 is third tone. If the word after 不 is the fourth tone, 不 must change into second tone. For example, 用 is the fourth tone. If 不 is between two with this word, 不 must be the right tone. For example, 好不好? If 不 expressed as the meaning of possible, 不 must be right tone. For example, 可能来不及. Tip 3 is the pronunciation of R after different words. R will be pronounced as ya, wa, na, ra, za. For example, like 唱哪吃了？你吃饭了吗？你吃饭了吗？ This is now going to tip 4. In two words with the third tone at the same time, you need to change the first word into second tone, and the second word is maintained as the third tone. 给我 给 is like 给我 change to 给我所有水桶你好 Tip 5 is cover for the words. So 方便便宜发现头发卡片关卡教师教书炸鸡爆炸some people will pronounce 炸鸡 as 炸鸡 is actually second tone is 炸鸡. Picture part is for lower primary and video part is for higher primary. So for the picture part, students need to observe the picture carefully. Start by talking about the place, the time, and describe the environment. So, as you can see this picture, 这幅图描绘的是学校课室里的情景。现在是大扫除，同学们正在认真的打扫课室。So this picture shows a classroom. It is cleaning time and students are cleaning the classroom. Since the student cannot point at the picture, so students need to describe the picture and clockwise or anti-clockwise. And students can add on their personal opinions and explain why, that what we do if you are the character in your picture. I think this student is correct or wrong and why they are correct or wrong. And you should add on your suggestion. and must be ending. The conclude is 总的来说，课室是我们学习的地方，大家要保持环境的卫生，也要分工合作，把课室打扫干净。So we can see, in the general, the student is a place, the classroom is a place where we study. So we should keep the classroom neat, and we should work together to clean the classroom. Now we go through video parts. Students need to observe and memorize the roles in the video and their related events. Answer the questions in full sentences. Do not just answer yes or no. Students should explain their opinions and their suggestions. And students need to listen carefully to the narrative and make clear of the main theme. For example, in this video,
很多年轻人因为吃了太多零食，不但不能好好吃饭，打乱正常饮食的规律，而且还会对健康造成危害。
So, the video is usually about 1 minute, and the teacher will ask 3 questions about this video. The first question is to repeat the content of the video. Second is your opinions towards one of the roles, and third is your suggestion about the main topic of the video. So, like the video just now, obviously, the main theme of the video is eating habits. Students should pay attention to the narrative because they can catch the main theme by the narrative. And the main theme is usually divided into 3 main parts, which are group, society, and home. What can parents do to help improve students' oral and speaking skills? So parents can create a Chinese environment for a child. Practice speaking by communicating with others using Chinese, and also express opinions and thoughts in Chinese. Parents can help by discussing various topics with students. Now there are 3 standards for Chinese in PSLE, which are Foundation, Chinese language, Higher Chinese language. Foundation Chinese and Standard Chinese have paper 1. Foundation Chinese and Chinese language have paper 1 to paper 3, but Higher Chinese has paper 1 to paper 2. Foundation and Chinese language have oral and listening, but Higher Chinese doesn't have. Higher Chinese language and Higher Chinese language have a communication part, but the Foundation Chinese doesn't have. If you are a student of EduFund, you will get an LMS account and an academic planner. So LMS account is actually an online quiz. LMS is convenient access to learning materials and recorded online lesson. And also, test paper and quiz will automated marking for drill and practice and revision of concepts. Mobile responsive system enabling students to learn anywhere and anytime with multiple devices. And this is the P1 to P6 diagnostic test for 2024, and I will update monthly questions for P1 to P6 in LMS. So this is academic year 2024, and academic year will include study skills, motivation quotes, and also learning journey. Thank you for listening today. Thank you.